I didn't get laid off for lack of work. I got laid off because somebody cheaper could do my job.
If you live in states like California, Texas, New Jersey, and New York, you would notice that the suburbs around the big cities' demographics are changing overnight. Even in colleges, you would notice the same thing. So why is the Trump administration worried about this?
Craig D'Angelo worked for Northeast Utilities, now called Eversource, and was one of 220 IT workers replaced by H-1B visa employees. We met with this group of workers who all had to train replacements. D'Angelo says his replacement, a worker from India, told him he was making half D'Angelo's salary with no benefits.
It wasn't called training your replacement. It was called knowledge transfer.
Leo Pereiro had just received high performance reviews from Disney. When he was called into a personnel meeting, he expected a raise and a promotion.
And instead,
I was given the news that in 90 days, my job was over, and I had to train my replacement. Never in my life did I imagine, until this happened at Disney, that I could be sitting at my desk and somebody would be flown in from another country, right, sit at my same desk and chair and take over what I was doing. It was the most humiliating and demoralizing thing I've ever gone through in my life.
Well, back in the 80s and 90s, American manufacturers shipped millions of jobs to China to cut costs under the guise of free trade. Now, many believe tech jobs are heading the same way. Not physically offshore this time, but effectively outsourcing through visa programs. Every year, the US runs the H-1B visa lottery. It's supposed to help companies bring in highly skilled foreign workers when they can't find enough Americans to fill specialized roles. But the numbers tell a different story that should make you stop and think. According to USCIS, about 71% of approved H-1B petitions for fiscal year 2024 went to people born in India. China came in a distant second at 12%. Sounds familiar? It should, because in the 80s and the 90s, American manufacturers, under the guise of free trade, shipped millions of jobs to China to cut costs. And now China is dominating the manufacturing sector. They're the world manufacturers. Now, many believe tech jobs are heading the same way. Not physically offshore this time, but effectively outsourced through visa programs. So we know the reason why corporations are doing this is because of greed. US companies, from the Silicon Valley giants to outsourcing firms, can bring brilliant, highly trained workers from India, often paying them less and offering fewer benefits than an American hire might demand. That was the current system till last week when Trump changed everything. So the old system made this even easier. Registering a foreign worker for the H-1B visa lottery used to cost like $10, but now it will cost $100,000. Not just for the initial registration, but after the candidate has been selected. But you still pay the $10 registration fee. So here's how it works. A US employee could set up a USCIS account and register a foreign worker for just $10. And multiple unrelated companies could register the same person. Some firms even set up share companies to file hundreds of duplicate registration so they can boost the odds. And then USCIS randomly pick enough registration to fill the 85,000 cap. Only if selected could the company file the full petition with the evidence and standard fees, which is when the company pays the $100,000 under the new Trump policy. And this system is ripe with fraud. And everybody knows that because every year, thousands of fake applications and duplicate applications are screened through the process and caught, and a lot of them escape. So H-1B visa is just one of those visas. There's a lot more of it. I mean, I saw a video of fake colleges multiple fake colleges that does this. And that is just a network of agencies that deals with trafficking, which is what it is. And even the USCIS admitted the loophole was being exploited. And here's the kicker. Once an H-1B worker is here, they can usually apply for a green card after a few years, anchoring themselves in the US. And naturally, when they're established, because they have good careers now, they will go back and recruit from the same network where they came through, reinforcing the hiring pipeline that heavily favors their country back home. And this basically keeps the American employees and the college new hires out of the pipeline. So over time, this can reshape the entire sector and establishing an IT and STEM to a particular demography, which is what is going on. But on September 9, 2025, a presidential proclamation introduced a huge shift. Starting in September 21st, 2025, any new H-1B petition has to include $100,000 supplemental payments that I already talked about. This doesn't hit renewal or people already in the US, but it does mean that for new hires, the cost jumped from a token $10 to a serious investment. So companies will finally think twice. They will ask themselves, is this worker so valuable that we're willing to spend $100,000 to bring them on? A lot of people are saying, well, this is going to reduce the amount of skilled labor coming into the US. I disagree with that because there's already skilled labor in the US. There are thousands of college graduates that can't even find a job because the employer rather hire an equally skilled counterpart from India or other countries so they can pay them less. But if you find a genius in India or China and you feel like he's worth $100,000, by all means, hire them, which is what this policy is all about. I think if Trump sticks to it, which he probably wouldn't, because he will probably receive some crypto bribe from India or one of this Silicon Valley company that worry more about their bottom line than people. And then he will reverse course like, we know Trump is the taco. Trump always chicken out. And if he sticks to it, this is going to cut a lot of lottery abuse and forced corporation to weigh the true cost of importing talent versus investing in a fair compensation to US workers. Because let's be honest, for many employers, it's never been about a lack of American skills. It's been about the bottom line. And if there's a cheap way to get work done, even if it means pushing Americans to the side, history shows that they will take it in a heartbeat. So all around, I think this is a good development, but I don't know if it's going to last because I might wake up tomorrow morning and Trump have a different policy. So if you like my content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.